Okay, it's Friday, December 5th. Do you know what happened on December 5th many, many years ago? Yeah, that's right. Me, I was born. And so
many years ago.
comment, so many years ago. I kind of waited for this day to do this wine. And the reason is because about a week and a half ago, we had bottled this here in the store, and it was a sample that was left from a tasting that we did a while back ago. And, we've since moved a lot of our inventory over to our going to be the new facility. And so there are, some of the samples, Kyle and I kind of peeled them off and kind of set them aside. And so I took one of these home, and the 2020 Château Tour Saint Christophe. And when I open and pour the wine in the glass and smell it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is something really special. And then I proceeded to obviously drink the wine, and yes, it was absolutely fantastic. I was blown away. And I shouldn't be, because what J.C. Merlot, Jean-Christophe Merlot, who manages the estates of Peter Kwok, what he has done and his team is nothing short of miraculous, because he is a true perfectionist. And so our story really with JC goes back to maybe 2006, 7, when he used to work for Catherine Perry-Verger. And if that name sounds familiar, she was Mikasa. She was the woman behind the crystal company, and then she got it into wine. And so she bought Chateau Leguet, and then she bought Chateau La Violette, and amongst a couple other estates, and he used to manage these estates for her. And then he hooked up with Peter Kwok, who owned Aubresson, and Peter had a lot of money, and he wanted to buy more chateaus, and so JC was his man. I mean, JC is, he's a native Saint-Emilion person, and he pretty much knows that area like the back of his hand. Since then, they have Tourmaline. They, in addition to Tour Saint Christophe, they bought Belfond-Belsier, which, that wine is now fantastic. I mean, what they're doing at that estate is, again, it's just a complete 180 from what the wine was before. Terroir is everything for JC, and Tour Saint Christophe is a very special terroir. It's kind of like an amphitheater, and essentially it is clay over limestone. And back in the 18th century, the chateau had these stone terraces. And what Peter decided to do was to rebuild the stone terraces by hand. I mean, we watched this over the course of like 18 months, go from nothing to these wonderful terraces, again, clay over limestone. And the thing is that the clay that they have there is actually blue clay. And blue clay, as you know, is where basically Petrus is planted, in blue clay. In fact, that's where when Petrus is 100% Merlot, only grown in blue clay, they have some Cabernet Franc vines on the property. And I remember asking Christian Moex if they ever used the Cabernet Franc in Petrus, and he's like, Nepa, basically because wet feet. And that's where Merlot thrives. And so 2020 Tour Saint Christophe is 80% Merlot and 20% Cabernet Franc. And remember, it's on limestone, and Cabernet Franc and limestone is a really good match made in heaven. I mean, the wine is in a really sweet spot. It's still very young, will age 10, 20 years easy, but it just has this really great purity of fruit. And so I want to taste it again, because I got a bottle and it's open. So again, like we said, it's 80% Merlot, 20% Cabernet Franc. And here we have 40% new French oak, and the rest 1 and 2 year barrels. All organic, or HVE3. High. Just how I always remember. Wow, the wine's vibrant. It's like it's electric, you know, because you have these big but melting tannins, and just the acidity. You've got fresh acidity in this wine, and you have all this like blue fruit, there's cocoa. Yeah, no, this is in a really good spot right now. And again, I mean, being that it's only 5 years old, so it's still a baby. But the one thing is, you know, JC and his winemaking team, I mean, they want to bring pleasure in the wine. You know, they don't want to make a wine that you have to wait like 30 years to drink. But the other thing, actually, that's great about this wine, and JC and Peter Kwok and the team, is they're realist, you know. And what I mean by that is that they don't come out with, because they get big scores. I mean, this is 96 James Suckley, 96 Jeb Dunnick, 95 Lisa Prody Brown. So this is not no slouch. They get big scores, but we're selling this wine for $34.98. $34.98. It's insane. And we got the best price in the country, by the way. And for what you get for that price is just an outstanding, outstanding buy. So it's my birthday. You know what to do. Make me happy. I made a pact of how many cases I'm going to sell to myself for my birthday present. So don't let me down, okay? They come in 6-packs. Buy a 6-pack, have it, age it, do whatever, and have a great weekend. And I will see you next week with another great wine.